Welcome to Law at Colchester Sixth Form College. Have you ever wondered, where do our laws come from? What is the difference between criminal and civil law? Does a suspect have to pay money to be bailed? Do we have a right to free speech? Why did this defendant only get 3 years? What are the laws on stop and search? And what is the link between crime and morality? These are just some of the questions that we consider when studying law at Colchester Sixth Form College. If you found these questions intriguing, then law might be the subject for you. You do not require any previous study of law at GCSE or otherwise, but you do need good written skills and a willingness to work hard to learn facts and details. We will provide resources and materials for the course. If you do consider buying a textbook, please check with one of your tutors first to ensure that it's suitable. We offer 2 law courses here at the Sixth Form, A-Level and BTEC Applied Law, and these cover a variety of areas of English law, including crime, the English legal system, tort law and human rights. So where can studying law take you? Studying law or applied law at this level doesn't qualify you to be a lawyer, but it is an excellent introduction for those thinking of legal careers in the future. It is a great stepping stone towards studying for a law degree. You might have heard the myth that studying law at this level will put you at a disadvantage for applying for degree courses to study law. This is simply not true. Each year, we have a number of students who complete their A-Level in law or a BTEC in applied law and go on to study law further at various universities. A-Level law and BTEC applied law aren't a requirement to do a degree in law, but they won't hurt your chances either. It's worth considering, if you're going to be paying for 3 years to study something in a lot of detail, it's worth knowing what you're getting yourself into. So let's talk careers then. Studying law will obviously start you on the process towards becoming a lawyer, whether a solicitor or a barrister, or working in the legal sector in a different capacity, and generally this will require further study or training in law, but there are now a number of routes towards these goals, including legal apprenticeships. Law as a subject will help with careers in the police, human resources, property management and estate agency, insurance, finance, and much more besides. We have had ex-students visit to talk about their careers in a number of fields who all studied law or applied law. Our law teachers themselves have all worked in different roles before becoming teachers, including as university lecturers, in law firms, the police force, insurance and recruitment. Law is a highly versatile subject. To summarise Law A-Level, you are formally assessed at the end of the 2-year course with 3 exams. Component 1 is worth 25% and components 2 and 3 are worth 37.5% each. The exam board for A-Level Law is EDUCAS and you are graded from an E to an A star. To summarise the Applied Law BTEC, Applied Law is formally assessed each year. At the end of the first year, you complete the certificate in Applied Law, and then, upon completing the second year, you have completed the extended certificate. The exam board for Applied Law is Pearson. Students are required to complete 1 piece of coursework, which is internally assessed, and 1 controlled assessment, which is externally assessed each year. Pre-release material is distributed 1 week prior to the controlled assessment, and students can take 1 side of A4 notes into the controlled assessment to help. There is the opportunity to resit the controlled assessment should you need to, and you would be graded as a pass, merit or distinction, with the potential to achieve a distinction star overall at the end of the second year. There are some similarities between the Law A-Level and the Applied Law BTEC. Firstly, the content that you cover is broadly the same. Secondly, both courses have access to online resources through our dedicated Moodle pages. Both courses have the opportunity to attend trips to the courts, and both courses have the opportunity to participate in our mock trial competition. But don't just take our word for it. Here's a couple of quotes from our Applied Law students. Applied Law has to be one of my favourite subjects due to how interesting the course is and how helpful the teachers are. I would highly recommend this subject for anyone looking into a law career. I definitely recommend applied law for everyone because this course offers you the opportunity to develop a wide range of skills such as critical judgment, which will then enable you to formulate arguments both for and against a cause, and this will definitely change the way you view certain topics. It also enables you to link the theory you learn in lessons to your personal life and experiences. Additionally, it also makes you aware of your rights and responsibilities. Our A-level students also had plenty to say. It's an interesting subject with a lot of links between topics and relevant yet intriguing cases, especially in the crime component. The college atmosphere, along with the fact that people have different ways of thinking, can lead to interesting discussions within the class, which is probably one of my favourite aspects. Law is one of the most interesting A-level subjects because not only is it very relevant, but you also explore various different topics, ultimately broadening your basic knowledge on the subject as a whole. This is especially useful if you are hoping for a career in law but are still unsure on which subject area. The teaching style suits me very well, as the work booklets are mostly simple to comprehend, and all resources and lesson plans can be found on Moodle. My best advice would be to keep looking back through your notes. Don't just neglect them once you've finished a topic. Studying A-level law has not only taught me the captivating reality of the legal avenue, but also helped me develop confidence through classroom debates and moral discussions, which have been invaluable to me. During this project, we caught up with Amelia, one of our second-year law students who's just finished studying for her A-levels. Here's what Amelia had to say in summary of her 2 years with us. I'm sure it will come to no surprise that I loved law. Having taken part in both of the external bar mock trial competitions as well as the internal mock trial, I think it fully confirmed to me that I was certain that law was what I wished to study at university and also develop my career in. I always found the lessons really interesting, since there was always a good mixture of written work and more interactive and discussion-based activities, meaning that it wasn't repetitive at all. I think I enjoyed taking part in the bar mock trial competition most of all, as I feel writing speeches and questionings as if you were handling a real case gave further insight on the career I aim to achieve as a barrister, but also was just a really fun experience in general. Studying law can help you develop a number of skills which will be useful to you throughout your entire life, such as critical thinking, organisation, time management, analytical skills, constructing arguments, considering other perspectives, a deeper understanding of our rights and responsibilities, and clarity on what the law actually is, eliminating some common misconceptions. For example, did you know that you don't need to physically touch a person to commit assault? When people read in the news that someone has been assaulted, they often assume that this means the person has been hit by someone. But is this accurate? The short answer? No. The offence of assault is defined in Ireland in a basic form of being the threat of immediate violence against a victim. This can be intentional or as the result of the defendant being reckless, but it does not require the individual to actually physically touch their victim. There is a lot more to it than this, but we will leave it there for today. We can, however, take a moment to contrast the offence of assault with that of battery. The case of R and Thomas defines battery as any unwanted touching. Usually this is coupled with assault, but not always. It doesn't matter if there is no harm to the victim. Any unlawful touching will qualify. However, it's worth remembering, if the harm the victim suffers is too serious, this will no longer be just a battery. It will be a different offence altogether. So why does the news say assaulted in the first place then? Because they're using the dictionary definition of assault rather than the legal one. When you study law at any level, you have to take some time to unlearn definitions that you've previously taken for granted and consider that the words you are using have a different definition within the legal sphere. The dictionary defines an assault as a violent attack. As a result, many people hear the word assault and assume that someone has been seriously hurt, but as we've seen from before, it could be as simple as someone shouting threats at another person. It might not seem to matter too much, but it goes some way to explaining why someone convicted of assault isn't going to get longer than 6 months imprisonment, which doesn't seem very long if you use the dictionary definition of assault instead. So why does this matter? It matters because in law, accuracy is crucial. Cases can fall apart if a defendant is charged with the wrong offence, and this wastes both court time and taxpayers' money. Accurately reporting on cases and sentencing in the media also boosts public confidence in the justice system. This is something we explore in more detail when we study sentencing. So let's get you started. Read through the instructions and details on this slide very carefully, and then have a go at completing the activity. Morals are social rules that we follow that do not have a legal consequence if we break them, for example, not to cheat on your partner. Laws are legal rules that do have a consequence or penalty if they are broken, for example, driving without insurance. Some morals and laws overlap, such as not stealing or not harming other people. Make a list of all of the laws and morals that you can think of and then see whether any overlap. Bring this with you to your first law class for discussion. That's it for this introduction to law. We hope to see you very soon.